Hello, Rayquaza video. Today we're going to take a look at my 21-4 run for the Mega Master League. We're going to have here Primal Groudon. We're also going to have the Primal version of the Kyogre, which you're going to see later on. I have I did 2 sets with the Primal Groudon and 3 sets with the Primal Kyogre in total. And I went 7-3 with the Primal Groudon, and I went 14-1 with a little bit of a different team comp in general. I like in general just the order of the Pokemon with the Primal Kyogre. And we're going to talk about this a little bit as well, why I had better results with the Primal Kyogre compared to the Primal Groudon, while it doesn't really make too much sense. But yeah, this team is insane. This team worked out so well, and in general, I honestly can't believe how much of an advantage it was if you were at like the basically the in-person Horn event before, because those Pokemon are just on a completely different level. Like, if you think about this team is more a meme team because they have like the 3 whole legendary weather Pokemon there, but honestly, this team was completely wrecking everything. And even if you think about like the Gyarados and like the Mega Gyarados, which I faced actually a lot of times. I don't know if it's in there. I just picked the 2nd set and my 5th set and like 2 games in between to get around the 15-minute mark. I didn't take a look at the battles or anything like this. I just picked some random sets that I played. But here, for example, we're going to actually lose this one against the opponent's Primal Kyogre. Our team doesn't even have the correct movesets either, because for the Kyogre you definitely don't want to have the Origin Pulse. You want to have the Thunder and Surf, because Origin Pulse doesn't give you the coverage that you really need, and you need the Thunder just for the other Kyogre matchups. So that's an important one. But other than this, that should be pretty fine here. We have 5 legacy moves on this team. We have Fire Punch, which is legacy. We have the Precipice Blade. We're going to have the Origin Pulse, as well as the Breaking Swipe and the Hurricane. All of those moves are legacy, so it might be even the most expensive team as well, because if you think about it, a legacy like the Elite TM there cost in the shop usually around 1,480 coins in a box with like, I don't know, 5 incubators, and that's basically it. So I would basically calculate per Elite TM around 10 euro, then you have 50 euro per legendary here as well. So yeah, this team usually would be in a very expensive one, but also look at this, by the way, here. The Mega Swampert should be counter to Primal Groudon there, but it is just not. Like, you just one-shot everything. This is the thing in general. This team is just getting carried by the pure amount of stat product that we have above the rest of the meta here. Like, this team is just getting carried by our primal versions there. We have the Primal Groudon here, which is going to be able to now go for a Stab Fire Punch as well. Look how much damage it does to a Mewtwo. We're easily going to be able to win this matchup here as well, as they're going to shield this next move up. I can go into my Kyogre and farm them all the way down. But I had a ton of matchups because this team doesn't make a lot of sense either. Also, Thunderbolt, a very cool attack move there. This team doesn't really make any sense at all. So, like, I had a lot of matchups where I was in really horrible matchups where I have basically no way of winning this, and I get completely hard-walled, but I still was able to win this just because my Pokemon just do so much more damage. It doesn't matter if it's resisted or not. You 2-shot a Rayquaza with your Groudon with double resisted charge moves. Like, it's just wild. Here we see a Dialga against us. We can just go for Fire Punch. Fire Punch going to do a lot of damage. Fire Punch going to do enough damage to put them into range. I can go for another Fire Punch, hopefully. It's going to be here a charge move, going to be the Iron Head. Fine for me. I can now farm you all the way down. If that's what you want to do, I'm totally okay with that. Here we see the Groudon Kyogre coming in here. Primal Kyogre, I think, going to be able to shield this move up. Should maybe went for 2 Fire Punches. Doesn't matter, because I can go for another charge move here. Knocking out the opponent with 1 Breaking Swipe. Winning us the game pretty easily there as well. Next opponent coming in, we see a Rayquaza in the lead. Horrible lead for us. We're gonna go ahead and go into our own Rayquaza. I kind of have to shield this one because I kind of have to realign and kind of get some damage on the opponent, but they're gonna go into their Primal Groudon here, which I'm fine with, as we will be able to go for some Breaking Swipes, and we're going to just debuff them all. This will allow me to get basically enough damage on them that they have to go for 2 Fire Punches to knock me out here, which is really good because of the debuffs that they had from Breaking Swipe. And I will be able to just go ahead, let those moves go through, farm them all the way down with my Kyogre, and I will be able to have a great time now, because even though the opponent going to have a very good resistance here with the Rayquaza, we should hopefully still have a chance of winning this one. Stuff coming through, we're gonna get the shield. I can just take the move on whatever they want to do here, really. They're most likely gonna go for the breaking swipe, and I'm going to be able to swap out after the surf now, trying to go for one fire punch and trying to keep my Kyogre alive for a potential sack swap later. Can't let this move go through, it doesn't really do too much damage. Our Groudon can take those moves, and we see a Landorus coming in. And here's why the fire typing really helps you now, as well, of course, as the crazy stats. See how much of not a resisted, but a debuffed Fire Punch does to a Landorus. It's insane. The amount of damage this thing just does is crazy. And then again, you think, okay, why do I went 7 and 3 with the Groudon, Primal Groudon, and why did it go way better with the Primal Kyogre? We're going to take a look at this as soon as we see the gameplay with it as well. Like, it's going to be later, I guess. I don't know if they still have one more battle with the Primal Groudon. We have one more battle with the Primal Groudon. Maybe even two, I don't know. But here, again, Zacian. Zacian can only go for close combat. This is the only neutral move that they can throw at me, which would be double resist. Like, the rest would be just resisted there, like the... oh, actually, nice swap there. Primal Kyogre coming in here, which is going to get countered now from my Rayquaza, which I'm happy with. But yeah, otherwise you have Play Rough, which is resisted because it's now a fire type. And you also have the Wild Charge, which is going to be double resisted because we are ground type. Here we see the Zacian coming back in here. We can go for one Hurricane, and look how much damage it's going to do here. Actually, kind of thought of shielding this move up because I would be able to just debuff the opponent, like whoever comes in. I think this will have been the play as well. Don't know why I didn't do that. Like, honestly, don't know why I didn't do this. Should just heal it, try to farm down with the Dragon Tail. I would have been in a better spot here, but now we're still going to have to deal with this Dialga, which we can deal with pretty easily, as we can go ahead and go for some Fire Punch damage here. They're gonna get so much damage just from my Mud Shot. This is Mud Shot damage against the Dialga, and it does like basically as much as a Shadow Claw usually would do. That's wild. Like, the Fire Punch now gonna get shielded, of course. We're still gonna do so much damage just with our fast moves alone. The opponent would need to go for 2 more charge moves, and one surf going to knock them out here. Good game there. We're at half mark of the video, so most likely we're going to have... Yeah, we're going to change up the team lineup a little bit, and we're going to go for the Rayquaza lead now. Here, what I really wish I would have done is I would have gone for a Dragon Tail version of Groudon. That would have been a cool flex move, or in general, cool move here for a Sasor, because we have a lot of Dragon-type Pokemon available. Here, I predict my opponent going not in his Groudon again, so I'm going to go into my own Groudon, but they're going to go into their Primal one. And here we can farm them all the way down. And okay, what is the reason why this went way better? The thing is here, Primal Groudon has literally nowhere to go, and Primal Groudon is the most common Primal version. Also, Groudon as a normal Pokemon without the Primal boost is so strong now, especially with the Precipice Blade, that you don't really need that boost even. You don't need to have the Primal version for it, so I feel the difference between a normal Groudon and a normal Kyogre is so big that the normal Kyogre cannot really do that much, while the normal Groudon is now such a strong Pokemon since the new move update as well here, that I feel like that basically you have like a bigger difference now if you go for the Primal Kyogre, because the thing just chunks so much more with your fast moves, which is just going to hurt them. Like, look at the fast move damage here just against the double debuffed Zacian, it just can farm it all the way down. But Groudon, basically not Primal, is still so insane for this meta. It's like literally such a strong Pokemon, while I didn't really find the normal Kyogre too good there. So here you're going to be able to see as well that I'm going to go ahead and go into my Groudon. It's going to be a tricky one to win actually. Maybe it's the one that I lost, I don't know. Let's see, we're going to be able to get the shield here, never mind. And we can go for the Precipice Blades, that's what I mean. Groudon is just insane. I felt like Groudon in the Sasop, or like in the back position there, did way more work than the Primal Groudon prior, which is something wild. Again, a Primal Groudon against us. I don't really care too much about this. We see the Dragonite coming in, fine for me. I will be able to go for my Breaking Swipe here. And the thing is, which is also kind of funny, because you get the extra fire typing on the Primal Groudon, our Precipice Blade is going to nearly one-shot them from our own Groudon. So, actually, in any scenario we have like a little bit energy lead, you're going to be able to destroy any Primal Groudon coming against you, which is a really wild, because you have it like basically the worst version of it, but you're still going to be better against it because your moves are super effective and their moves are just neutral. I think Precipice Blades still would nearly knock you out if they throw it against you from full health because just the attack set is so insane. But in general, the Groudon here is just so strong as well, it's just wild. We see a Draco coming in, doesn't really matter to us as we can go for one more Precipice Blades, going to knock out the opponent's Dialga. But yeah, normal Groudon is so crazy. Like here I would have nearly won this one as well because of that one, but I'm still going to be able to win this. Of course, Fire Punch going to do a ton of damage, but even if they go for one charge move here, it wouldn't have knocked out my Kyogre. It's going to be an easy game there as well. They supported Mega Gyarados. That's something that is very interesting to take a look at this one here, because this would be the Pokemon that you might think going to hardwall us all. And of course, it's going to be a Pokemon that's tricky to deal with. And I'm not going to lie, this is going to be not the easiest one to deal with here, but it's far from like over or whatever. He's still going to be able to go ahead and go for the charge move. You're going to get them super low. Both use the shield. I can just take this move here, they're double debuffed. Crunch does basically nothing against me. I can farm them down and have some energy lead now. What's in the bag? Dragonite. So here we're going to get completely hardwalled from the get-go. You might think this is an issue. Just watch it. Like here we're going to see that they're going to be able to go for one Dragon Claw, but look at our health, look at the opponent's health. We basically do as much damage even though our moves are resisted all. They are super low now, I can farm them down with Mud Shot, and we see a Mamoswine coming in. You might think now, okay, yeah, this game is over, we get one shot by one Mamoswine, they still have a shield left, I can just go for the Fire Punch, but like honestly, like there's not a lot that I can do about this anymore. They're actually going to even let this move go through, which is a good call from the opponent. I only get to one more Fire Punch here to get the final shield. You might think this is going to be over as well, right? Like I'm gonna get one shot here, my Kyogre is basically dead. My Kyogre doesn't care if it's basically dead. My Kyogre is not completely dead, and we will win this with 1 HP. Yeah, next battle against Home/Henry. Good lead for us again. I knew his team from his video as well, so like that was kinda help, of course. But Rayquaza going to be able to go for the breaking swipe against the opponent's Kyurem. Kyurem is basically very similar to the Rayquaza, not gonna lie. Has a little bit of a better stat product and also a little bit of a better moveset in my opinion, but the thing is just with Kyurem, yeah, I don't know, like you don't have the flying typing, and the flying typing helps you a lot in this current meta, as they're gonna go ahead and go into the Groudon. This was a very smart move by them, by the way. This allows them to get a ton of energy, and they could even swap out, because I know what they had in the back as well. From the video, it's going to be a Dragonite. Again, Dragonite, something that I cannot really deal with. So it's an interesting one to play around here, but I can go ahead and go for one Surf. As long as I keep my Kyogre around, I will be able to just go ahead and farm down later the opponent's Primal Groudon. I will be able to just go ahead and go into my Groudon now, take all the moves from the opponent, and the normal Groudon is still just so fine. It's just still such a strong Pokemon. We can go for the Fire Punch here. This Fire Punch going to do some nice damage. We can farm them all the way down as the superpower going to come through here. We see the Primal coming in. I actually should have went for my Fire Punch there, or like try to ensure like a knockout in general, because I have so much energy here, but the energy going to go to waste because the opponent still has a shield left. I can still farm them down here, and I can also farm down the Dragonite. So even though Dragonite, or in general Dragonite, Rayquaza, whatever, all the Dragon type Pokemon would be a little bit of a trickier one for this team, it just doesn't matter. We just completely destroy them still, because at least Kyogre here doesn't care about any typing. It just hits hard. And honestly, like this team worked so well. Like it got me plus 300 points in one day, from 2,850 I think to 3,150, which is kind of wild. And honestly, I don't really like the fact that they are allowed, but they are so much above anything else here. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, I haven't seen a Latios or whatever, that would be also at least a legendary Mega, but this is just wild. Like, honestly, it doesn't really matter what you face here. We're going to face another Dragonite, and we don't really care about the damage here from them. We can go for our own damage with the Surf. They're gonna go for the shield, which is fine for me, as they're gonna go ahead and go for the charge move. Don't really care too much about this. We go into our own Groudon here. We can go for the Precipice Blade. Funny enough, double resisted, doesn't really matter. Look how much damage it does. We see the Primal Groudon coming in, and this is what I mean. Primal Groudon we don't care about this one here. We have our normal Groudon, and normal Groudon will be enough to completely destroy the opponent. Goodbye there. And we see the Dragonite gonna go down now as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have those Pokemon, I can just highly recommend you this team, especially the last one. It just worked out so well, and yeah, those Pokemon are super broken. You kind of want to have a Primal right now on your team for sure. Leave a like if you enjoyed this showcase, and I'll see you in the next video.